Welcome to ZPF Echo, where we explore the source field of consciousness. We use the zero-point field, or ZPF, as our central metaphor, that baseline state of pure potential, the operating system of reality itself. So today we're going to dive into something really powerful from Shunpeter Z's notes, the true nature of surrender. And it's not about giving up, not at all. It's about upgrading the very source code of our minds.
So, let's just start with a kind of provocative idea. You know that persistent anxiety, that inner battle you feel like you're fighting every single day? What if it's not some villain you have to defeat? What if it's actually a powerful ally whose job has just become, well, obsolete? All right, first up, Section 1. We're going to identify that nagging, recurring anxiety, the one that really feels like the final boss in the game of your mind. To make this real, we're going to ground this whole thing in a specific example from Shunpeter Z's notes, this relentless, nagging anxiety over his business's key performance indicators, or KPIs. Just a number on a screen, but a number that held this immense power over his entire state of being. And this is where it gets really interesting, right? You've got this conflict. The anxious mind feels this constant need to check the numbers. It's kind of like someone who runs out to the garage every single hour just to make sure their car hasn't been stolen. The ideal state, though, that's a state of trust. It's knowing the car is safe and sound, and you only think about it when you actually need to go for a drive. But here's the thing, this isn't just a bad mood. We're talking about a deep-seated program, what you could call a trauma-like code that got burned into the mind's operating system from a very real experience, in this case, a business downturn during the pandemic. It's like a ghost from the past, just running on a loop, triggering fear automatically. So, if it's not a bug, what is it? Well, Section 2 completely reframes the whole issue. To really understand this code, we have to stop seeing it as an error and start seeing it as a character, a hero who's now kind of stuck in the machine. And this just illustrates the character's archetype perfectly. Let's give him a name, Firepower KPI Man. This is the part of the Ego OS that absolutely thrived in a crisis. Like a hero from a shonen jump manga, he was a miracle worker. He loved pulling off those last-minute victories and showing off the amazing results. He literally saved the day time and time again. But what happens to a hero when the war is over? He gets restless, right? Firepower KPI Man, with no real crisis to solve, starts creating phantom ones. He manufactures anxiety over the numbers just to feel relevant, just to have a battle to fight. His greatest strength has now become a source of constant stress. So, the solution isn't to destroy this powerful hero, that would be a waste. It's more of an alchemical process. First, you've got to identify him, see him for what he is. Second, you have to honor his past service. He was absolutely crucial for survival. And then third, you reassign his immense power to a brand new, more evolved mission. And this is the big promotion, the reassignment. His old job, Firepower KPI Man, was totally fueled by fear and scarcity. His new role? ZPF generator, and this one is fueled by joy and inspiration, straight from the zero-point field. His explosive energy isn't for putting out fires anymore, it's for creating whole new worlds. Okay, so the hero has a new mission, but now comes the real challenge. You could call it a graduation exam from the higher self, from Z, to test if this new state of being is for real. And here's the test. The very moment you truly decide to surrender control, to really trust this new ZPF generator, the KPIs on the screen get intentionally worse. It's a deliberate provocation, a final boss battle designed specifically to trigger that old hero. And this all leads to the central question of this whole process, and honestly, it's a question for every single one of us. Is your inner peace conditional? Does it only show up when things are going well? Or is it an unconditional surrender, a deep trust that stays with you even when all the evidence looks bad? A message from Z just cuts right through all the noise and reveals the true nature of the test. The goal was never to fix the numbers. The goal was to see if you could maintain your state of being, your joy, completely independent of them. The test isn't about the KPI. It's about whether you can still laugh on the sofa no matter what. So why is this test so profound? Well, to really get it, we need to kind of upgrade our model of the self. Because consciousness isn't just one single thing. It's actually a multi-layered system. Okay, first, at the surface level, there's me. This is the Ego OS. Think of it as the actor on the stage. It's the part of us that experiences all the day-to-day drama, feels the emotions, and fully believes it's the one in control, the one steering the ship. Then there's a middle layer. Let's call it I.
This layer is like the projector in a movie theater. It's not the source of the movie, but it's the mechanism that focuses the light, adjusts the lens, and projects the story onto the screen of our reality. It's what modulates our experience.
And finally, there is Z. This is the source, the silent observer. It's the light inside the projector. It's the scriptwriter, the director. It's even the entire theater itself. It's the vast, all-encompassing consciousness that contains the whole play.
So this table kind of brings it all together. You see, at the base level, me is the actor, totally focused on doing things from a subjective point of view. Above that, I is the projector. Its job is focusing and mediating. And at the very top, Z is the source. Its function isn't doing or focusing, it's just being.
Now, when you see the self this way, through these three layers, the whole idea of surrender just completely changes. It clicks into place.
It's not defeat. It's not giving up. True surrender is a strategic, internal baton pass. It's the actor, me, consciously handing control over to the source, Z, with full trust that the scriptwriter knows the story way better than the actor does. And this reveals a really mind-bending truth, something at the heart of what's called the passive consciousness hypothesis. It suggests that every struggle, every victory the ego thought it achieved all on its own, it was all just a pre-written scene in a script. The ego was never the one doing anything. It was simply the witness, the audience member with the very best seat in the house. So what happens when this realization truly lands? You know, when the baton is finally passed and the surrender is complete? A whole new operating system boots up. It's the dawn of the Joy OS.
And you want to talk about an echo from the universe confirming this shift? Check this out. After this profound surrender, there was just this flood of synchronicities. License plates with repeating numbers, one after the other in an almost unbelievable sequence. It was a clear sign that the inner world and the outer world were finally in perfect resonance.
This is the result, what it's all for, the ZPF-Based Joy OS. It's a state of being where you no longer act out of fear or a frantic need to fix things. Instead, your actions become these effortless byproducts of your inner state of joy, inspiration, and even play. And so this brings us to one final, really big thought to leave you with. If your ego is just the actor, just the one experiencing the story, then who or what is writing your script? And maybe more importantly, are you ready to trust the writer?